Lining theory of culture. Mag-start na ako mag-discuss class Leininger's theory of culture, care, diversity, and universality describes, explains, and predicts nursing similarities and differences in care and caring in human cultures. I will be modulating my voice for a little bit para hindi nyo masyadong marinig yung handa sa labas, no? Leininger uses concepts such as worldview, social and cultural, structure, language, and ethnohistory. When we talk about ethnohistory, you are focusing on a certain part of community. So the history of that community, environmental context, and folk and professional healing systems to provide a comprehensive and holistic view of factors that influence culture care. Okay. Okay. Culturally based care factors are recognized as major influences on human experiences related to well-being, health, illness, disability, and death. So lahat ng mga binasa natin na slides here, it will be explained later on. Last time that we had a discussion, we watched a video of Leininger. Actually, this is part 2 of her interview. I will just upload this one sa ating Canvas para hindi na tayo mag-take pa ng maraming time, no? I hope you are hearing me clearly. The goal again of TCN is for us to provide culturally congruent care. So when we talk about culturally congruent care, that is care that is beneficial and meaningful. So look at this, look at your screen class, no? Beneficial and meaningful. When we talk about beneficial, syempre nagbe-benefit, no? From the root word benefit, may nagbe-benefit. When we talk about naman meaningful, I don't know if you would agree with me, but our job, no, this nursing profession, this is a face-to-face o meron tayong direct contact sa ating mga clients, no, sa ating mga pasyente. And most of the time, meron kang maririnig ng mga kwento na yung nurse na yan, tinulungan niya ako or mabait yung nurse na yan. I actually remember there was a clinical instructor before sa Wesleyan. Naikwento niya sa kanyang Facebook, sabi niya gano'n, nung siya ay pinanganak, merong certain nurse na siya yung sumalo nung so kanya, nung baby siya, no? Tapos dumating yung time na nag-take siya ng nursing, and then itong nurse na to, nakatrabaho din niya. And then dumating yung time na yun, bakit niya naalala yun? Dahil he was given the privilege to work with this certain nurse. Etong nurse na din na to, she already passed away because of COVID. So, my point, no, our job is meaningful to our clients. Whoever they may be, they will be having, I hope, no, good memories about us, especially sa care and service na binibigay natin. Actually, class, ang nursing para ka ring customer service. You want your customer to have that satisfaction sa iyong service na ibibigay. Masungit ba tong nurse na to, or mabait ba tong nurse na to, or on time ba tong nurse na to, or parang padaskol-daskol lang, or is she giving the proper care to the client? So yan. Culturally diverse nursing care. So culturally diverse nursing care, this is an optimal mode. When we talk about optimal, it means holistic, it means whole, no? An optimal mode of healthcare delivery. It refers to the variability of nursing approaches needed to provide culturally appropriate care. So, nandito na naman yun, no? Culturally appropriate care. Again, what is the goal of TCN? So, kapag nakita nyo doon, ano bang goal ng TCN? Culturally congruent care. How can you give an example? Ano bang mga example ng providing culturally congruent care? Most of your homeworks, ang sinagot nyo, kung hindi ang example nyo ay about Muslim people, ang isang example na very tawag dito, favorite yung example ay yung mga kapatid natin na Jehovah's Witnesses. So, ngayon, mag-explore ka din. Ano ba yung mga iba't iba pang mga cultures sa ating Pilipinas? Hindi lang naman yun ang mga cultures at mga religion. There are some assumptions about TCN. Number one is transcultural nursing roles include advocacy. When we talk about advocacy, pag sinabing, ito, advocate ito. Ibig sabihin ng advocate, you are a spokesperson. So, in a sense, you are a health speaker or para kang spokesperson for your client. No, it includes advocacy, research, because itong nursing na to, this is an ongoing research. Our care is ongoing. Health policy development, health systems leadership. When we talk about health systems leadership, you will be stepping up your game. For example, maybe some of you mabigyan kayo ng opportunity to serve a community sa mountain areas or mapunta ka sa mga tribo, bigla kayong mag medical mission, ano. Pag sinabing health systems leadership, you will be a leader on your own kasi maybe no sa tribe na napuntahan mo, hindi lahat 'ton nakakapagbasa, hindi lahat 'ton nakakaunawa ng English. Pwedeng maging teacher ka din. Hindi ka lang structurize sa iisang job description, but you will be open to exploring anything that you can be of service of. Right? So management, education, clinical practice, and consultation. TCN practice requires that nurses be aware. Ito, I encourage all my students, lalo na hawak ko kasi lahat ng fourth year ngayon, yung level 4. At I encourage all my students na wag lang puro kwento ni Paulo Contis, about ni Yen Santos, wag lang yung mga ganong kwento. But let us be aware of the changes around the world. What is happening in Israel? What is happening in China? What is happening in Morocco? I hope na meron ka ding sense na ano kaya nangyayari sa buong mundo, no? Hindi lang hanggang dito sa showbiz world, no? Wag lang tayong hanggang showbiz world, kung ano lang ang trending, kung sino ang nagkahiwalayan, wag lang yung mga ganon. But let us be aware, lalo na if you are we are a transcultural nurse, we will be practicing this awareness of what is happening around the world that influence and challenge their knowledge of the unfolding meaning of diversity and the need for the delivery of nursing and healthcare that is respectful and responsive. Respectful and responsive. Anong pinagkaiba ng respectful and responsive? When we say respectful, parang yung verse natin kanina, no? When you talk about honor, it means respect. But when we talk about response, pag kasing you respect a person, minsan naghihinto ka na sa, ay wala na akong gagawin kasi culturally aware ako at sensitive ako. Ayaw pala niya na for example, ang paborito niyong example, ayaw pala niya ng blood transfusion. So anong gagawin ko? Wala na lang akong gagawin. Yun yung minsan ginagawa ng respect. Hindi ko na siya pakikialaman. But at TCN, at Transcultural Nurse, hindi pwedeng puro respect. Kailangan meron ka ding response. What is your response? Are there any alternative ways? So you are both respectful, you are not crossing the boundaries, but you are also there to do your job. Ano yung pwede mong magawa? Hindi pwede ng puro, I respect you kaya wala na akong gagawin. Do you get me? So you will be respecting that person, but because you are a healthcare professional, you have to do something also kasi you're also an advocate of his or her health. Next is assumptions about TCN. Inulit lang natin na to. It includes research, health policy, and development. Now we will be going to communication. Can somebody read this one? Yan. Interprofessional healthcare team. Yan, babasahin lang natin. Sino magbabasa? Basa tsaka ano. Ma'am, ako na lang po. Si Crystal na lang. Maganda yung background niya. Sige, Crystal, can you just read?
Interprofessional Healthcare Team. The Transcultural Interprofessional Healthcare Team has at its core the client, who is the team's reason for being. In addition to the client, the team may have one or more of the following members.
Thank you. So, ang ibig sabihin nitong interprofessional healthcare team, meron kasi tayo makikita later on na framework. So, ito, pag nakakita kayo class ng ganitong diagram, 'di ba merong mga pictures or merong mga ganyan, you can call this one a diagram, but most of the time, this is what you call a framework. So, ibig sabihin, may ibig sabihin lahat ng nandyan. So, for example, we started with, this is what composes the interprofessional healthcare team. As you can see here, cross-cultural communication among members of the interprofessional healthcare team. So nabasa ni Crystal kanina, yung client is at the core or the raison d'être. Ano yun French term, ibig sabihin nun, bakit ka naging nurse? Dahil merong pasyente. Parang ganun ang ibig sabihin nun. The reason for being. Bakit may mga nurses? Dahil meron tayong pagagalingin, meron tayong gagamutin. Parang ganun lang yung sense nun. The client is our reason for being. In addition to the client, the team may have one or more of the following members, such as number 1, the client's family, or the other significant on his or her life. Most of the time, for example, nag-duty kayo as a bedside nurse, most of the time kapag nagtanong ka ng mga pangangailangan ng client or ng pasyente, hindi lang yung pasyente ang sumasagot. Kadalasan, ang sumasagot sa'yo, nanay, tatay, or asawa. Tama ba? Or yung mga bantay, no? Sila yung mas nakakaalam doon sa status ng client. Minsan kasi siguro yung client parang medyo groggy na or siguro gusto niyang magpahinga na lang. Na ang tinatanong na lang natin palagi ay yung family members or significant na member. That is why kasama sila sa healthcare team, sa interprofessional healthcare team. Ito yun, no? So, tingnan natin ulit yung framework. Babalik tayo dito sa diagram. This is the client. And tingnan nyo, kung makikita nyo dito, the same circle na nandun yung client, nandun din yung family at significant others. Why? Dahil, yun nga, kagaya ng example ko kanina, kadalasan, kapag merong kang tinanong sa client mo or sa pasyente mo, parang ang minsan sumasagot din yung mga pamilya. So parang same lang din sila ng circle. You get me? And then this one, itong mga arrows na to, these are what we call influencers. Yan. At our time ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na mga social media influencers, no? But here, ang mga patients, meron din silang clients natin, meron din silang mga influencers. That influence factors yon bakit nababago ang ito yung nasa taas, health-related values. Bakit na-form yung kanilang ganong paniniwala? Because of these people. Merong folk and traditional healers, merong healthcare providers, merong religious and spiritual healers. So itong lahat ng ito merong say sa kung ano yung naghuhubog, nagfo-form sa health beliefs ng isang client. So ito yung ibig sabihin ng class. And this one, itong nakikita nyo sa screen na to, yung dotted na arrows, ibig sabihin yan, communication. So ano ibig sabihin ng communication? As you can see here, in our sa screen natin communication, merong verbal and non-verbal. Of course, Yung verbal, you are using your words. You're using your, just like what we are doing right now, I am using words to communicate to you. But I am also sometimes using non-verbal. Pag sinabing non-verbal, no words. Ano yon? Pwedeng silence, no? Hindi ka sumasagot. For example, di ba, kadalasan ang gumagawa nito mga babae, no? Galit ka ba? Or okay ka lang ba? Tapos pag hindi sumagot, ibig sabihin, may problema. You are giving that person a silent treatment, yung tinatawag. That is also a non-verbal communication. Eye contact, no? There are cultures na ayaw nila na tinitingnan mo sila ng matang sa mata. Meron naman culture na hindi nila i-detail yung isang business unless you are looking at them eye to eye. No, there's also what we call facial expression. Yung facial expression naman, for example, there are people na mabait naman siguro sila, no? Mabait naman ang kanilang disposition sa buhay, maayos naman. Pero yung itsura talaga nila, parang lagi silang galit. Parang laging nanununtok, no? Parang wala pa silang ginagawa, parang galit na sila kagad. O yung tinatawag na resting bee face, no? Yung parang wala pang ginagawa, wala pa silang inagawa, para silang nang aaway. Meron naman ng mga facial expressions, mga expression ng muka na para ka naman laging nakangiti. In that case, parang, for example, parang ako na-try ko yun, naranasan ko yun, minsan may makakasalubong ako, nginingitian ako kasi akala nila nakangiti ako sa kanila. Hindi ko naman sila nginingitian. Parang gano'n, no? May mga facial, yung kumbaga merong yung mukha mo, no? Hindi ko naman sila nginingitian. Akala nila lagi akong nakangiti sa kanila. Okay, parang gano'n. Gesture, posture, time, no? Time. For example, here in the Philippines, meron tayong tinatawag na Filipino time. When we talk about Filipino time, it's never early. Parang pangit nga yung connotation na yun, kasi it's parang always late, no? Distance, modesty, there are cultures, nabanggit natin yan nung unang discussion natin, may mga cultures na gusto nila mata lang ng babae ang nakikita, cover ang face, no? Meron naman na ayaw nila na nakita ko to sa mga examples nyo, no? Ayaw nila na nahahawakan ng isang male na physician or male healthcare giver ang isang female na client, no? Technology assisted in literature, art, music, and dance. I will read this slide na lang, no? Whereas language, dito muna pala tayo, sorry. Communication. Okay, let us go here pala muna. What is communication? Ayan, can somebody read this slide naman ulit? Ayan, what is communication?
Derived from the Latin verb communicare, meaning to share. Communication refers to the meaningful exchange of information between one or more participants. The information exchange may be conveyed to ideas, feelings, intention, attitudes, expectation, perceptions, instruction, or commands.
Thank you, Rasmin. Parehas pala tayong amor, Amor means love. Mapagmahal ka ba, Rasmin? Ay, wow. Yes, talagang yes agad, no? Okay, communication is derived from the Latin verb communicare. Ibig sabihin nito, meaningful exchange. So I want you to look at these two words, no? Meaningful exchange. Pag sinabing meaningful exchange, ano ay pinagkaiba ng monologue at ng dialogue? Meron ba kayong idea? Siguro nung elementary kayo, na kapag kayo, no? Sa bayang pagbigkas, nagde-declamation. Ano ibig sabihin kapag monologue? Ano naman ang ibig sabihin kapag dialogue? Tingin nyo ba, may pinagkaiba ba yun? Bukod sa spelling,
Ma'am, yung monologue po, isa lang.
Yung monologue po, isa lang. Yung dialogue po, may kausap.
True, yan, totoo, no? Kasi from the prefix na mono, no? It means one. monologue, and then die means DI, it means two or two speeches. So monologue, usually parang yung online classes, parang nagiging monologue siya kasi yung teacher lang nagsasalita. But supposedly, it has to be dialogue. It has to be an exchange. Kaya nga dito, meaningful exchange. There has to be a meaning. Kadalasan kasi kapag tayo ay nakikipag-usap, walang nagiging result. Bakit? Kaya nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na miscommunication. May sinasabi ka, may nakikinig dapat, at meron dapat response. That is communication. Meaningful exchange of information between one or more participants. The information exchange may be conveyed through ideas, feelings, intentions, attitudes, expectations, perceptions, instructions, or commands. Now, meron din tayong tinatawag na, communication is an organized, patterned system of behavior that makes all nurse-client interactions possible. Most of the time, tayo ang makakausap ng ating mga kliyente, kaya mas maganda na ngayon pa lang na iaayos na natin ang ating communication skills. Now, kung meron kang siguro sabihin mo na, ma'am, ang ugali ko talaga may initin ang ulo ko. Right now, i-exercise muna na maayos kang nakikipag-usap. Kasi mahirap naman kung lagi ka na lang napapatawag ng chief nurse, napapatawag ka na lang ng head nurse kasi lagi kang may inaaway na pasyente or lagi kang may inaaway na kliyente. No, communication makes it possible. It is the exchange of messages and the creation of meaning. Meron na namang meaning. Kanina, meaningful exchange. Ngayon naman, creation of meaning. There has to be a meaning and there has to be a result. Okay. In conclusion, in effective communication, there is mutual understanding. Meron dapat pagkakaunawaan kasi kapag walang pagkakaunawaan, kaya nagkakaroon ng miscommunication. You get me? Now, let us go to this slide. Yan. Can somebody read this one? Yan. What is language and what is paralanguage?
Ako na po.
Sige, Marty.
Whereas language refers to what is said, paralanguage refers to how it is said and relates to all aspects of the voice that are not part of the verbal message.
Thank you. Okay, so language is what is said. Ano yung sinabi mo? For example, ganito. Ang taba mo. Ang paralanguage naman, ang taba mo. Ang taba mo. Ang taba mo. Isa lang yung word, tama ba? Gets nyo ba? Nagigets nyo ako? Yun ang pinagkaiba. Paralanguage is how it is said. Language is what is said. Ano ba yung sinabi? Diba? Kaya nga nagkakaroon ng mga awayan, yung mga parang chismisan. Kasi iba yung sinabi talaga. Pero nung kinwento na, ganun ba yung sinabi niya? That is paralanguage. Paralanguage is how it is said. Kaya nga meron tayong kasabihan, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Diba? Minsan, may mga tao na magaling, malumanay magsalita. Bakit pag siya ang nagsalita, naiintindihan ko? Pero bakit itong tao na to, pag siya nagsalita, parang lagi akong inaaway? May mga ganon. So, we have to learn about paralanguage. And paralanguage is, it relates to all aspects of the voice. So you are using your voice. Yeah. Paralanguage may modify or nuance meaning or convey emotion through rhythm, pitch, stress, volume, speed, hesitations, or intonation. Speed, no? Gaano ka ba kabilis magsalita? Meron naman, I remember last time, no, may nag-ret them sa akin na first year. Tama ba? First year. Oh no, second year. Magaling naman yung student, kaso sobrang bagal niyang magsalita. Talagang parang siguro na ibigay ko sa kanya yung 1 hour, dapat sabi ko sa kanila, 20 minutes lang. Dahil nakita ko naman yung persistence niya, hindi ko na lang siya binawal, pero sobrang bagal niyang magsalita. Yun, hindi ko naman siya magawang pagalitan dahil nakikita ko naman ginagawa ni the best na kaya lang, yun lang ang sabi ko, hindi na kita bibigyan ng mababang score dahil dito, pero tip ko lang, no, parang kayo din, ano, nakadami nyo ng retdem, kare-retdem nyo lang ata kahapon. Pag bago kayo mag-retdem, make sure na nagpa-practice kayo sa harap ng salamin para alam nyo itsura nyo kapag kayo ay nagre-return demo. So at least, i-record mo din yung sarili mo para, ay, ganito pala yung boses ko, ganito pala yung itsura ko, ganito pala yung ganyan. So at least nakikita mo kung ano yung nakikita ng professor mo. Diba? Parang ganun lang. Okay, so that is paralanguage. Nonverbal communication refers to how people convey meaning without words. So we are using facial expressions, we are using gestures, we are using posture, and the physical distance between communicators, no? And there are also aspects of communication where we are using interpreters. Greetings, silence, eye contact, and facial expressions. Okay. And here, I have this table here. Nag-highlight na lang ako, no? Merong nagtanong sa akin, ma'am, ano po ba ang significance ng taking up TCN? So alam na natin na kapag ang TCN, itong course na to, we are being prepared for certain situations like this. Sabi ko kasi, it will not be every day na meron ka namang makikitang transcultural na client. It will not be every day that you will encounter a client na kailangan ng interpreter, na kailangan na maging ganito ka. But for that specific reason, you are being prepared for those type of situations para at least kapag nandun ka, maalala mo, ay, natik pala namin ito. We have to be prepared. So, for example, dito tayo. Tingin tayo dito. What to do when there is no interpreter? Bukod sa being polite and formal, you have to speak in a low, moderate voice. Avoid talking loudly. Kadalasan, kapag hindi tayo naiintindihan for example, hindi tayo magkaiba tayo ng language, ang ginagawa natin, tinataasan natin yung boses natin. At nilalakasan at tinataasan natin yung boses natin. There is often a tendency to raise the volume and pitch of your voice when the listener appears not to understand, but this may lead the listener to perceive that the nurse is shouting or angry. It doesn't mean na tinaas mo yung boses mo ay maiintindihan ka na. Do you get me? For example, di ba, dito, nakikita nyo kasi dito, pantomime words. So, gumagawa ka na rin. So, di ba, for example, like this one, this gesture, it means a house, no? So, ang gagawin mo ngayon, imbes na nagge-gesture ka lang, ginagawa mo, sinisigawan pa, house, bahay, bahay. So, tinataasan mo yung boses mo, hindi na nga niya maintindihan. No? Kung manonood ka ng Grey's Anatomy, marami silang mga episode doon na meron silang pinapakita ng mga certain situations that you have to step up as a TCN, as a transcultural nurse. I remember there's an episode na there was a Chinese lady na hindi siya maintindihan ng mga characters. And when she saw Dr. Yang, si Christina Yang, akala niya Chinese and she was talking to her in Chinese. And sabi ni Christina, I'm sorry, I'm not Chinese. Actually, Korean daw siya. No? And she has never spoken any Korean words. So may mga ganong situations, pinapakita sa atin na you have to step up as a transcultural nurse. No? Number 2, highlight dito is give instructions in proper sequence. For example, do not say, before you rinse the bottle, sterilize it. Do say, first, wash the bottle. Second, rinse the bottle. Ano pinagkaiba nun? yung una mong sinabi, ganito yung pagkakasabi mo, bago mo hugasan, sterilize mo muna. For example, napunta ka sa isang lugar na hindi naman sila lahat doon ay educated as you are. Hindi sila lahat nakatungtong ng college, hindi lahat sila marunong mag-English or nakakaintindi ng English. Mas maganda ang instructions mo ay one by one. Gets? So, first and then second. So, yan. Yun ang ating parang practical suggestions for when you do not have an interpreter. Okay, I have 5 minutes here. We have 5 minutes on our session class. Let's take a 10-minute break and then I will see you. I still have 5 more slides and then I will be dismissing you. Okay, bye. Thank you. 10 minutes tapos same link tayo. Salamat.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you po.